Thank you for visiting our channel. Today I came out to review and also quick unbox this awesome looking Android box. This is called V3 Pro. It's done by a company called VSeeBox, and this will bring on the table for us Wi-Fi 6, also Android 11, up to 8K with 4GB of RAM and 64GB internal storage. And I don't want to forget, if you are watching this on YouTube, this is YouTube friendly. For the full video, visit our website and I'm sure you're going to find out everything about it. And I do not want to forget, if you haven't subscribed to our channel, click the subscribe button. Make sure you share this with your friends and family. Make sure you click the notification icon, select all, in order to get notified once we have a new video out. On top of that, if you have a question, drop them at the bottom of the video. We'll have to help you out ASAP. And don't forget to click the like button. It really motivates us to make these type of videos quickly with a little more detail every time. And here are all the components that are part of the box. It comes with this user manual. Now it has a lot of information inside on what is the introduction and then package content, which we're going to cover in this video. Also how you're going to be able to connect in basic setup, what you need to process in order to pair the remote, also downloading the updates and more. It's all going to be here. Now if you flip it in the back, it also shows the main screen and how you will be able to play with something like Wi-Fi and some troubleshooting steps if you ever get stuck, and also some buffering tips on how you can prevent it. If we flip all the way in the back, you do have a little QR code, and this is how you will be able to connect to their official website very easily using your phone. It does come with a power adapter. This is 5 volt 2 amps, and the connector that connects to the box is a little bit smaller, and you can see that this is also going to be connected in other few more countries, but this is really good. It also comes with an HDMI cable. Since we have few of them, not going to open it up, but it's just regular HDMI cable. It also comes with this big remote. It's inside of a plastic that we're going to take out. And it looks really nice. It looks like one of the other boxes we just did a review for. You can see it's nicely set up on the top. It does have a IR sensor on the top. But if you look, it's also going to be able to pair this with a IR TV. So you can go to source, volume up, volume down, and power. This power is going to be for your box. You have full numeric button, static mouse is on the top. And then going down, you have the menu, return, full navigation key with the OK in the middle. You also have the EPG button and info button. You have the subtitle, home, and audio. You have the volume button right underneath of it, the volume up and down. You have the mic button so you can search for channels. We're going to test that out. Also the mute button, the channel up and down or page up and down. You also have the color button so that way you can make favorites, or you want to remove a favorite, you want to delete certain things, you want to record things. It's all going to be right over here. And then you have some premium apps shortcuts on it. So hopefully this is going to be inside of already pre-installed. We will explain that for you later. And then you have their logo written really nicely on the bottom. There's nothing here. And if you flip in the back, you have some writings on how you will be able to pair your TV with this remote itself, and here's some of the steps on how it's processed. And when you look in the bottom, since we made a mistake with another brand, it's right over here, so you can open the back, and then it takes 2 AAA batteries so that way you can install and use it. Very easy to process. We're going to test this out in a couple of seconds. And the big moment itself is the actual box. It is not square anymore, it's a little bit longer. I really like that. So it's sitting inside of a plastic so it doesn't get scratched up, and once you take it out, this is how the box really looks. I really like the design. Yeah, there's a little film to it, and we're going to take that out right now. It is going to make it very fingerprint residue. As soon as you put your finger on it, it will leave some marks, as you can see right now, but it looks really nice. It has their name there, V3 Pro, and also have some information. It looks like there is some information inside of it too, so show you the time, connections, and everything is inside, but you can see through it if you look this way. And then going on the side, there's nothing here. But once you flip it in the back, you have the LAN connection, USB 2.0, 3.0. You also have the HDMI connection. You have an AV port, and also the DC connection, which is 5 volt 2 amp. I really like that little engraving, the way that they have written it down. And going on this side, there's nothing here. But I like that little cut that they have placed all the way around. It looks like there's going to be an LED on one corner, and there's nothing else here. If you look on the top of it, I really like that how they made this name shiny, their logo, and then they have the little ripple effect on top, and this is all plastics and nothing else, but it looks really neat. Now when you flip it in the back, there's no holes for ventilation, and I don't think we need it, but you can see that it's a little transparent. You can see inside of it. So the PCBA or the motherboard does show. You have the model number, also how many volts you need. If you ever misplaced your power, it's also written right over here. So you can order another one from somewhere like Amazon, so that way it will work out for you. There's 4 little legs, so that way when you put it on the actual table, it doesn't move that much. I really like that. Well, it does move a little bit, but it's not that bad. And then you have the sticker for your serial number and MAC address, which mine is covered right now. All right, enough said about it. Let's get this connected and see what's involved in it. For CEC purposes, we're going to connect the HDMI first, and then the power. And then once you start booting up, it will tell you it's booting. And once the system gets normalized, you will change to a time. That's what we are waiting for. And you can see this light is blue. That means it is booting up. But it's not a button that you can press. And there you go. The time came up. It is incorrect. As soon as you turn it on, this is the first screen you're going to get. And yes, there is a little animation that will come up with it. All right, it's time to pair the remote itself. So number one, make sure that you press the button and it should flicker on the top. So this way you know that the battery do work and the remote works. And then you can see that it tells you to press the OK and then the volume down, which is this one, and the OK button together for a couple of seconds. And then once you see it blinking on the top, it should already pair. And there you go, now it's paired. And now we can set up the box itself. And then the main launcher. So I really like the way that it looks. Kind of reminds me of another brand that is out there, but it's pretty cool. So you can see their name on the top. And then if you look on the right hand side of it, you have the weather widget. Also, if you're connected via Wi-Fi or LAN, right now I'm connected via LAN, and then the actual time. Going underneath of it, you have the apps for what's going to be installed or you're going to install will be on the first line. Second one is recommended, what they are going to add for you. And then the third one is going to be settings and some little apps, as you can see right now. Something like system settings, launcher settings, software, and more is going to be in the bottom. Something like if you want to clean the memory, any of the apps that's going to be in the background, click on it and it will be easily going to be removed. Now, if you want to see your system information is also there. Also, if you want to set up some hotkeys, you can click here and then you can set it up so that way you can launch that app you're looking for. Now, the next part is also you can check for updates, click on it, and then you can go to online update, select it. If there is any updates, you will get a pop-up. Except that, you can just get out of it. You can also go to your launcher settings, and here you're going to be able to set up all these parts. You also have settings. So we will go one by one and show you exactly what's involved in this. All right, enough said about it. Let's go and do some benchmarking. Number one thing that we're going to launch is going to be YouTube. Now, by default, as soon as you start playing with it, it depends which default setup you have. As an example, mine is 1080p. So you can see that the quality is stuck to 1080p. But if you click on this under settings, you can see that 4K do show up. And when you select 4K, it just switches and voila. Now you have it as nice colors, very, very vibrant. Let's go a little bit geeky inside. All right, so you can see on the top that this is running on 1080p, 0 frame drops right now, but this is taking it as 4K, but in 30 frames per second. Going down, it's using codecs as VP9 and OPOS. That's why it looks so vibrant and so nice. So this does the job for you perfectly. Even if you want to play it as 4K, you can see how nice it looks. The next thing we will be launching will be Geekbench. Now for Geekbench, we already processed it. So for single core, we received 111. And for multi-core, we received 363, which is running on OS 11. Looks really good. That means as these marks are perfect. The next thing we will launch is going to be AIDA64. So the first thing you should always remember that this manufacturer is called Droid Logic. You have 4 GB of RAM. How much is available is right over here. The internal storage is 64 gig, and this is how much is available. Bluetooth on this is 5, but I know by heart that something with the codes and with the PCBA or motherboard, it cannot read more than 4+ on this app. Now going under CPU, you can see on the top that this is running ARM Cortex A35 and running on 2004 megahertz. It is 64-bit ARM but running on 32. Going down, here's the 4 cores. And the ones that are running or not running right over here, scaling governor is on schedule, which is really good. Now on the display, the native resolution on this is 1080p. It's running on 61 dpi. The GPU on this is Mali G31, and that is single core processor, by the way. It is running on 60 Hz. Landscape mode and the OpenGL on this is 3.2, meaning that if you want to play certain games, will run really smoothly for you. Under network, you can see that the 5G network is supported. It does not show Wi-Fi 6 here. This app does not have that functionality. If you want to go under Android, you can see on the top that this is Android 11, Red Velvet Cake. The API on this is 30, and here's some more little information for you guys. And some terminal information. And the codecs that everybody's always asking for is all going to be over here. And I don't think you really need everyone yet on this. And you can see that it is there, but I do not know if it's going to be fully functional or not. But it's going to work for you. Again, this box is very powerful. Some of the information I was looking for is not indicated in this. It looks like they have blocked it. And the next thing we're going to launch will be VLC. Now, this is our very first time launching it. So here's our video. The first thing we're going to launch or play is going to be our 1080p video, and you can see that it plays it really nicely. And now we can bring down the volume so it does not have to be very loud. But yes, it is really good. It does play, and yes, it will bring sound for it too, so this way you know that the 1080p plays very smoothly. The next video is going to be regular 4K that we filmed with our phone. Remember that this is a very big map. I always call it map because you can see certain details. Now this have little particles and big particles. The leaves are different, the water is different, there's going to be birds passing. So if there's any kind of pause or going to be pixelization, this should show it for you very easily. And it looks like it does the job accurately for you so you can watch the video smoothly. This video is going to be the 10-bit 4K, and it looks like it's playing it very nicely with the proper sound, so there is no pause to it. I really like that how nice and smooth it is. Again, 10-bit and 4K. Plays on this very nice and smoothly, so I know that you want to stream it or you want to play it from a USB, you're not going to have any kind of problems. One thing I have to mention is there are some premium apps which has shortcuts on the actual remote, something like Prime Video, which is part of Amazon. You do need to get subscription for these from the websites in order to get access to them. On top of that, you need to know that the quality on this is going to be HD, which is about 720p. For Netflix will be 480p, and then for Disney Plus going to be 1080p. It's just the way that it is set up. But for something like Disney Plus and also Netflix, you have to remember that for these, you do need to visit their websites, same with Prime, to get subscription. Go to these websites and get the subscription before you can sign in. The next thing we're going to launch will be speed test. Now the best part is that I have already processed some of these tests, so this way we can see it exactly what type of numbers we're getting. And there you go. So the first thing that we tried was the Wi-Fi connection. And when you click on it, you can see that my download was 393. And you can see this arc that nicely happened. And there's a little bit up and down right here, but it did not succeed or pass over the 400 megabit per second. When you look on the upload, it was just steady on 53.5, which we are exceeding because mine is only 50 megabits of upload. You can see my idle time was only 16, which is really good. Now the next thing that I have done was I tried it one more time, and this time I got 360 for my download and 47.6 for my upload. My idle time again was really good. Now this time we're going to change it to LAN connection. Remember that this box only have a 10100 LAN, so I got 93.8, and you can see that it just studied, very steady, going all the way through. And then my upload was exceeding again. It looks really good. And my ping was very low for the LAN connection. And then when we tried it one last time, we got 94.1, which got a little bit better. And then my upload rate was still exceeding, which is really good. You can see that it just stayed really steady all the way through. And my idle time was really good. So it looks like this box have done their homework properly when it comes to drivers for this box. And doesn't matter if you're going to connect it with Wi-Fi, which is Wi-Fi 6, or LAN connection, which is 10100, so that way you can get your picture on the TV accurately. That means is less buffering will come through because of this type of connections, and you will going to really like it on how this is going to work for you. Now, if you are going to connect to third-party apps, those are going to be a little bit different. If you do have questions, ask at the bottom of the video. As much as our knowledge, we will help you out quickly. All the links will be available in the bottom where you can order it from, except that I hope you guys like our video. If you do like it, click the like button, subscribe button on the top, comment on the bottom. Always remember to visit our own website, which is exitex.info. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and other social networking places, and thank you.